Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
Yo, can you hear me now? Yo, okay, there we go. Yo, can you hear me now? Okay,
Yo,
so
I am
okay, there
so
we go.
sorry about that. We finally got this figured out.
Yo, can you hear me now?
We're finally chilling. Okay,
Yo,
so I am
okay, there
so
we go.
sorry about that. We finally got this figured out.
Yo, can you hear me now?
We're finally chilling. Okay,
Yo,
so I am
okay, there
so
we go.
sorry about.
Alright, here we go.
Alright, to the one person watching so far. Oh, what up, Bailey? I appreciate you. Alright, this is the first time doing this, so I've been trying this for probably 2 hours now, trying to get this worked out, but I am happy to be on here. Let me make sure. I'm going to throw this on this screen, just so I can have this. Get up myself. Alright, word. Alright, let's get this. So what up, Bailey? Me and you right now. Get the rest of the sweet boys on there. Tell them to hop on and get me some views. This is doubling as my upload for the week. I have another video in the works. Or not in the works. I already have it produced. I am going to Nashville next week. This week actually. I'm going for a work conference. I'm going down there to just do work, and then I'm going to be filming a video. And I don't have a video for next week, so I'm doing this live stream as something different, and so I can push the video I have to next week. So we're going to start editing this picture. This is the original. I like it, but it doesn't have like the beach vibes that I want. So let's see, what are we going to do here? First thing you do is you come in and you choose the curve. Kind of what you want it to look like. It's just a nice base with Fujifilm. I'm going to come into the aquas because that's the sky right there. We're going to shift it more towards the blue. Put it down there. Come into the blues. Come in here, increase the lightness maybe. I don't like how warm it is. I'm going to bring it more down here. Balance it out a bit. I took this in Georgia, actually. When I was in Georgia with Saxon and Adam, we were just walking and I liked how it looked. It had a nice beach, some sort of like beach town vibe to it. I thought it was really cool and I wanted to take the shot, and I've always had it here but never really known what to do with it. But I think today is the perfect time to finalize the edit on it. Hopefully you guys like it. Let's see. Yeah, if y'all got song recommendations, throw them in the chat. We'll see what we can play. We're gonna get it bumping in here. Yeah, it's pretty dumb. Alright, we're gonna go back over here. First thing I normally do with these edits is I take my curve. I have a predetermined curve. As you can see there, it just warmed it up a crap ton. So we're gonna cool it down. Take the white balance and shift it a bit more to where we want it. And you can see here in the corners that there's a lot of vignetting, and we don't want there to be that much. You normally can't notice it until you get like a sky photo or something. So we just come in here and brighten the edges. Take the exposure, down maybe a bit. I want the shadows up here. Blacks. One thing you can do whenever you're editing is take the shadows up, and if you don't want to crush the blacks and have it look washed, or you don't want to crush the shadows, you can bring the shadows up and the blacks down. Because look, if it was here and you brought the shadows up, it balances it a bit more, but it's not as like contrasty or moody. So I like to bring it down about 2/3 of the way. So if I'm up 30, if I'm up 30 on the shadows, I'm gonna bring the blacks down by about 20. So I think right there looks good. Contrast is fine. I want the exposure back up. Let's see. I gotta fix my computer screen. Where's my phone? Oh, it's right there, duh. I'm using it as my webcam. Yeah, I was trying to get my Fujifilm set up as a webcam, and it was not working for the life of me. I was trying to get it looking good, trying to get the software to work, and it just did not want to cooperate. So that was really cool. It happens though. What can you do? Okay, what we're gonna do with this is you can come in here and add a new layer, and we're gonna have a mask, because as you can see, the yellows, the trees, so like the palm trees, they look green because we know it's green, but if we take all the saturation out of the, nope, we don't want that. So go to the background, take all the saturation out of the yellow. You can see that the palm trees are all like yellow. The system is recognizing it as yellow. So what we're gonna do with the background is, we want the brush, take the size up, and we're just gonna brush over wherever the trees are, just so we can have the yellow only directly affect the trees, because the doors right here are yellow as well. I don't know, I think this line right here is orange. That's what it's like identifying it as. So that's what we really want to mess with. Come here to the yellow, shift it a bit more towards this side, increase saturation, and then bring the lightness down. That's what I always like to do. Let's see. I don't want it up that much though. So I'm going to come back down here, bring it there. There, I think that's looking pretty good. Back to background. We're going to go to the orange and see what all this is doing. Okay, I don't really like how, like, the ground and the palm trees would be nice and like, so I want the lightness there. I want the saturation to stay about the same. We're going to come in and do another layer, take the size of this down, and brush this stripe right here. And what you got to be careful of is with these masks, they will tend to brush over other stuff that you don't want to be affected. So you come here with a feather, with an eraser, and you need to be like really careful with what you're doing, because you don't want it to affect any of this other crap. Crap. So we're gonna come back here. Redo the eraser. Because what you should do if you're doing this stuff is click off every once in a while, so that way you can just undo if you do a mistake, and that's so much easier than redrawing. There, I think that looks pretty good. Just to be safe, I don't want it affecting anything like indirectly. This right here is all blue, so it wouldn't affect that. Just in case there's any orange in this part of the image. Might look sloppy, but it's not gonna affect anything else. I just really want this orange stripe to be saturated, and then I'm gonna shift it more towards the orange because it's a little too yellow. I don't even know what that, if there's any yellow in this. There really isn't. Yeah, I don't know who's in the chat. Nah. Pretty cool. I like how it's looking. This part right here, it's a little bit more like like the orange is closer to the red side of the orange hue than it is as opposed to this part of the yellow side. So you got to be careful when you're adjusting the hue, because now that looks like obviously that looks wrong, but this looks just, so this part right here in the shadow looks way too red, even though this looks closer to what I would like. You're going to come back here about right there, and it still looks good and it still looks natural. Take the saturation back down a bit, come back to the background, check out what the yellows are doing. We're going to rename this the trees. Come here, rename this the stripe. That's just for easier identification, getting to know what you're doing. I want the trees to be a little bit more towards the blue. You're gonna decrease saturation a bit. They are in the sun. They look a little too green. No, that's pretty good. Maybe if I bring the, oops, no, that's not what I want. Come back here. It looks too, I like that right there. That's pretty dope. Looking pretty good. Alright, what else do we need? I think I want to add a little, take out a little bit of clarity, give it that dreamy look. This is the background, yeah, so watch what happens. So, watch the trees right here. If we take the clarity out and put it back in, it's making it look like there's a dreamy effect on it. And I mean, I'm not going to do that much, but if we would do maybe like -15, add a little bit of dream. This is the before, this is the after so far. I don't like how much blue is in the image here. So we're going to come here, take this out a bit, aqua, take that down there, take this down here. Yeah, I'm liking that. Highlights are a little blown. So we're going to come back up here to the highlights, bring it down a bit. Whites down more. We can bring the highlights up a bit then. And I am liking how this image I think I might come back to the background with the oranges, because right here the forefront is too bright. Honestly, the before is almost cool enough to just suffice as the photo, maybe with just a tiny bit of freaking, hold on a sec, what's this one look like? Yeah, I'm still liking the before edit. I think what I'm gonna do is come back to this one. Nah, I like this one, because we just did it, obviously. Greens, it's not the green. Trees, we're gonna desaturate a bit. Yeah, I like that. Final thing we're gonna do with this image is create a brush tool and come to the size, and we're gonna do the front right here, because I don't like how bright the grass is right here, the dead grass. So I'm gonna come into the oranges and bring the lightness back down. I want the warmth up in the overall image. I think it looks better that way, because I did take this at sunset. I'm liking that a lot, actually. So we'll do the before and the after. I like that. Alright, what's the next image we're gonna do? I don't know, let's see. Yeah, welcome to the other person viewing the live stream. What it do? I think I'm gonna edit a waterfall picture. I really dig this picture. Let's see. Yeah, we'll do this one. So I'm gonna create a new variant. Alright, so this is the original. I took this whenever we were in Tennessee. Saxon and I did a hike called Chimney Tops. Make sure you guys check that out after this stream. It's the first, it's like hiking Tennessee or something like that. It was in August, so make sure you go check that out. That is honestly a really, really good vlog. I loved shooting it, and I go back and watch it all the time. Like, I just seriously enjoyed filming it. I enjoyed editing it and watching it like, oh, it's a really good video. So make sure you guys check that out. Alright, one thing I normally do is I have, like, in Lightroom they're called presets. In Lightroom they're called presets. In Capture One they're called styles. They're just, think of like an Instagram story or an Instagram post. You're going to create like a post or whatever. You're swiping, you're seeing what looks good. And it looks okay. These are the filters for Instagram. So it's called a style in here. I sometimes go over them to see what might look good, if anything's gonna work for it. Sinisto looks good, actually. That actually looks really nice. I think we're gonna go with, I want it to be a warmer image, so we're gonna we're editing it from scratch. So we're gonna go right there. You gotta be careful with waterfall images because you have to make sure that the foreground, the midground, and the background is interesting. And I like how the bridge is here, but the foreground does not have enough stuff happening. So we're gonna, we want 2x3. Come like this. Make sure there's enough happening in the foreground, and already that image is looking better. We're gonna come here. Let's see. What happens if we bring the shadow up? I don't want the shadow up. Doesn't look good. We're gonna apply my curve. What is the adjustments? 65, 65, 5.8. 65, 65, 5.8. 65, 65, 5.8. Alright, we're back with that. One thing I'm immediately noticing is the blacks are a little bit too crushed, so what you can do is create this like bring up, and as you can see it's gonna like make it look a little too crappy, but you just come up like this and it brings the shadows up, brings the blacks up, and it kind of introduces that fade to the image. So I think the blacks are brought up a little too much there. Bridge was blown out. So that's looking pretty decent. I like that. I like that. Hey, what's up, Saxton? Thanks, dude. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. Can I bring this chat to... Yeah, I can pop out the chat. Awesome. Where can I bring this? Sorry, I am bringing this chat out to... right there. I don't know if you guys will see that. Yeah, I don't... No, you guys don't need to see chat twice. I'll just bring that there. Alright, we're gonna come to the aquas because look right here. This is a color dropper tool, so say I have it on red, right? This color dropper tool, you take it to the image, you find what color you want to edit, click, and it shows you what color it's going to affect. So watch this waterfall. It has a lot of blue in it. I completely saturate it, desaturate it, and it's looking good. Whenever I'm seeing a waterfall picture, I want there to be like it to have almost no color, just like a tint of aqua. So that's where we're at right now. We're gonna come to the greens because that right here is the background. I don't like some pictures. I like greens looking more towards the bluish side, like the emerald side, and others I like them looking a bit more yellow. But I typically increase the saturation and decrease the lightness. I don't know why, I just think that looks better with the greens. This orange right here, this log is just ugly, but that's okay, because we're going to make it look like that, shift it a bit more towards the yellow. And then we need to do some basic dynamic range adjustments. So if we bring the blacks up, I think I actually kind of like the blacks being brought up in the shadows. I think that looks pretty decent. Contrast, we're going to take a bit more out. We need a little lower clarity. We're going to come with the classic. Something like that. And then what else are we looking for? I think that looks pretty good. So here's the before and after. After, before, after. I dig it. I really like it. This is the original. Oh wow, we got it almost like exactly. Like this is my first edit right here. This is my second, and it looks almost exactly the same. So obviously I know what I want with that image. I dig that. I don't know what y'all been up to. Hey, what's up, Norlando? How you doing, bro? I need to have some freaking way. Yeah, I'll bring it over here so I can see the chat a bit better. How you doing, dude? Let's see. Those are a couple pictures I took. What do you guys want to see? You want to see some street photography? You want to see some more beach photography? What type of photos do you want me to edit? I have a lot here. I mean, these are like, it's my back catalog, obviously. I've posted these to Instagram. I've made videos about them. But I will literally go back and edit the same photo. This one right here, my Porsche photo. This one took me probably, I edited this one 5 or 6 times total. It was a lot. The issue with this was that this is actually a gray car. And wow, that's like actually not good. Why is it not editing anything? What did I do with this? Wow, I just about messed my photo up. What is up with this? Yeah, I don't know what the heck's up with my catalog right now. It's because I had that. I'm just stupid. What the heck am I doing? Alright, so this is the before. I had a complete aneurysm there. Sunset pics. Word. We'll do a sunset pic. This is the before, and this is the after. I think this is like magazine quality. Like, this is a magazine quality photo. It might be like very pretentious of me to say that, but I mean, I had it on like so it was f4, 55 millimeters, 1/100th of a second. So it's a little blurred out right here because the focus is on the S and the R with the Cayman, and those are perfectly in focus, and that's what I wanted. And it blurs out on the edges. It's a nice photo. Sunset pics. It's sunrise. Let's see what I got. Sunset. Let's see. We could do right here. So this is a sunset photo I took at a work event. It was setting down and there were some clouds in the sky, and it had just rained that day. And you know those days that it rains and it gets very like moody and like bright in the sky, like the entire like land had the reflections from the sun and the sunset going off of the clouds and bouncing down, giving it like an orange and purple overtone. It was so fire. We're gonna do this one. Alright, let me find, I think I had another variant somewhere, and I don't like having all these different variants, just because I like having one finalized photo. What was my, can I not, I can't go back. Alright, yeah, word. So this is the, oh wait. Alright, so we're gonna remove the before and after. Alright, there's two ways you can go with a sunset / cloud photo. You can either have it be very contrasty and pop, or you can have it be this like kind of mellow one general, because you know how some sunsets you have like 5 different colors, and some the entire like the entire image will just have one color to it, like an orange or a yellow. With this, you can see that we have like these lilac colors here, the blues here, and like an orange there. So we want it to be this contrasty photo. Like I had said earlier in the stream, you get these vignetting issues with sky photos. So what you do is you come with the vignette and it gets rid of most of that. I'm going to show you guys how to do a tone curve actually. So what a tone curve is it, okay, think of it this way. These high dynamic range, like right here, you have highlight, shadow, white, and black. If you look here where my mouse is with the tone curve, it's divided into 4 channels. You have the blacks, the shadows, the highlights, and the whites. These 4 columns are kind of divided 25%. Whenever you're adjusting these highlights, shadows, whites, and blacks, you're largely adjusting those columns and a little bit of the, so if you're adjusting the shadows, you're messing with a little bit of the midtones and a little bit of the blacks, but mostly the shadow. This tone curve right here, if you do this, everything along this line is being brought up, and just look how it flattens out the image. With this, you want a contrasty, like how we said earlier, you want that contrasty image. So we're going to come to the 3 lines, and we're going to increase the highlights and decrease the shadows. And that just immediately created a more moody image. And then that's with the luma. That's with the whites, the blacks, the highlights, and the shadows. You can directly affect the 3 color channels, red, green, and blue, in the highlights and the shadows as well with the tone curve. So you can either, you know, bring it down, bring it up like that. I like a little bit more red there. And we're going to bring a little bit out of there. Green, we're going to leave. What happens if we do the blue? I think doing that looks really good. Gonna warm it up just a tiny bit. Come over to the, we're gonna come back here. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see. Contrast, increase just a tiny bit. What contrast does is it's kind of like a tone curve, but a bit more simple. I think if you have a loaf of bread dough and it's just in a ball, a tone curve, you're kind of like messing with each individual part of the bread. You have like, think of it this way. You're kneading the bread with your fingers with a tone curve. With contrast, if you increase or decrease, you have 1 or 2 boards. If you decrease the contrast, you have 2 boards on the side and you're pushing the bread loaf together. If you're increasing the contrast, you're kind of like bringing it from the top. You're not crushing everything, but you're flattening it out and pushing everything more. So you're increasing the shadows and the highlights and the blacks and the whites at the same time, a proportional amount. So it's pushing it out more. So I'll do contrast to either decrease or increase it overall. Just a very quick general type feeling. I don't know where I was going with that. Increase the tint just a bit to make it a bit more pink. We want more saturation because with sunset pics, with clouds, you want there to be that saturation and that very detailed, distinct sky color. I don't think I'm gonna update my live stream. I don't think yeah, there we go. Alright, we got these purples right here and these oranges. I don't want clarity because clarity kind of just like makes it gritty, and while we want there to be that detail, we don't want there to be that much. So we'll do like 8, we'll go punch, we'll go natural, neutral, shadows, so as you can see here, a lot of the image is either shadows or highlights, and we want the shadows brought up just a tiny bit, the blacks can be brought down, the white, there's almost like no like direct whites in the image, and you can see that right here. Oh wait, wrong thing. Not really gonna do much to it, so we're gonna go with that, and then the highlight we're gonna bring down to balance it. After you do that, you come to the color tab. So as you can see in the bottom part of this image, it's a lot of orange, so we're gonna increase the saturation and move it more towards the red because I don't really like the yellow in that part. Increase whatever yellow there is and bring it down there. So there's going to be a lot of pink and purple in this image. The pink is right here in these clouds. So I'm going to bring it up a bit, shift it towards the purple, and bring the lightness down. And then the largest part of the image, that's weird, there's like no purples there. I thought a lot of it was going to be the purple. So what is, oh, it's going to be red, isn't it? Yep, a lot of the image is the reds. Look at that. So we're going to balance the purple a bit more towards there and the pinks a bit more towards there. Alright, what do we want this to look like? Let's see. Yo, what up to the other person now watching? Leave a comment who's watching. I'm happy to have you. Glad you're tuning in for it. Shout out to you guys. Y'all are the real MVP. We're gonna go a bit more towards this side because I think it's fitting it more. Increase the saturation. Decrease, leave the lightness. Okay, that's way too ugly. That is not looking good. But maybe just a bit. Kind of like that. I think that looks pretty decent. What's the before and after look like? I think that looks pretty good. Oh, we want to do a little something with the blues here, with the aquas. Gonna come to the color dropper. Alright, I don't think I need blue. See, I don't understand how the system recognizes this as red right here. Because look, it's obviously like a blue, and we know that. But it's not doing anything with it. Even if we come to like the green. Like there's none of the green being affected either. I still think it looks good. I'm happy with how it turned out. This was the original edit. There's this one. So we've warmed this one up a lot and made it not as moody. This one looks a bit flatter, but it looks a bit more realistic. This one just looks cooler. So I like that one better. Alright, I love this image. This image is fire. I took this in Tennessee as well. I went on a solo hike, and it was my second Tennessee video that you guys can go check out. I was walking back from doing Andrew's Bald, and I decided, hey, might as well pull my camera out. I was sweaty. I was just like out of it. I was like, yeah, this is not it, Chief. I'm just over it. I saw these like ferns. They're like little ferns. I said, that would be such a good picture if I could capture it correctly. So I pulled it out, and when I tell you that this was an image I struggled on for a while, it took me forever to get a good edit for it. I have some sort of trouble with like greens. I don't understand why, but it's like my hardest, like it's the hardest color for me to edit, I think. Oranges, yellows, I'm like, okay, that either looks good or it doesn't. Greens, I can never figure out. This one, I am going to just apply my curve. Just increase that contrast a bit, because we want the distinction. With such minute detail, you want them to be distinct from each other. So I put the curve on to increase that contrast like I had done earlier. It's underexposed. You can tell that just by looking at it, but also by seeing the tone curve. Everything is in the shadows. So what you do is you bring the exposure up, not a lot, but we might go like half a stop. Contrast is down. We're gonna bring the, what does shadow do? Bring shadow up and bring the blacks down. Nah, it's not really doing much for me. I like that. We're gonna cool the image off just a tiny bit, because greens, now all colors are affected by the warmth of an image, but especially the colors towards the middle of the spectrum. So anything like yellows and greens and a little bit of the blues are heavily affected by the warmth. Because like if we do this, everything's just completely blue, and if we do this, everything's just completely yellow. So I'm gonna come down to here. What was this at? 5900. Yeah, that's it. I literally put it on the exact same one. We don't really need a lot of pink tint. Helps, it makes it look flat. So we're gonna take it down a bit more to increase the greens. We're gonna see, okay, so there's a little bit of the yellow right there, and we can see that if we saturate this, and then just a tiny bit of the image has oranges in it. So we're gonna come up with the lightness, bring it down just a bit, increase saturation, and just a tiny shift over that way. Just bump it a tiny bit towards the blues. I think that looks really good. It has like that emerald color that I think looks just amazing. Yellow, what's it affecting? There's not much in here. But if we decrease the saturation and shift it more towards the greens, that balances the image out. And the orange, it's really just back there. So if we decrease the saturation and the lightness, you're not going to notice it that much. And it doesn't really matter because that's not the focal point of the image. Alright, this is the edit I had. This is where we're at now. So I think I just had saturation up a bit more. This one I like more. The part of this one that I like more is the higher saturation, and it looks more travel-y. I like this one because it looks a bit more balanced. It's not too cruddy, it's not too out there. Let's see, what's this? I think I just have this contrast increased. Turned out well. Let's see, who else? You got nothing on me. Put your fucking hands up. Alright, we're gonna open my other catalog because I managed to pass 10,000 photos. Gonna open this one up. How do people stream like video games, and how do they actually stay on a streaming schedule? This is hard. Because really all I'm talking about is the photos and showing you guys how to do this. Let's see. And I have it saved, so it's gonna be put out as a video, I think. Let's see. Can we change this? Everyone can see this video. Word. I want to make sure it'll put out as an actual video after. So afterwards, I'll see if I can publish it. Alright. I recently posted this light trail photo, and I know y'all liked it. It's honestly, I think it's like one of my most liked pictures on my Instagram. Let's see, what song is playing? Sorry, I'm just trying to get a good song. Yo, Skizzy Mars is so freaking. I just discovered him like a year or two ago, and I never really listened to him. Oh, my buddy Norland. And frick. Norlando, I think you're still watching. I can't answer your snap because my video will stop. So don't think I'm ignoring you, okay? I just can't answer it because then I have to restart my camera. Am I still talking? Okay, good. It's still talking. Good. Alright. This is a light trail photo. I think. Look at that. That is such a freaking good edit. Oh my gosh. I really like it. Immediately what I notice is it's way too green. Look at this road. If we increase that, it's gonna do wonders for the reds. Cool this off. It's gonna reduce this right there. It's a little too cool. I'm gonna add a layer right here to decrease these yellows because I don't want to do it over the whole image. Wait, did I have another thing? Yeah, I probably did somewhere. I'll go back and edit that. We're gonna decrease the yellow saturation and the orange saturation with this layer. Decrease the lightness a bit. Back to the background, warm it up a bit. We're gonna add another layer just for the sign right here. Yo, I'm actually like starving. This weekend I have been not eating as much as I probably should. I was up until probably 5 o'clock last night, I think. And I ate at like 6 with the boys at Permane Brothers. If you're in Pittsburgh, you obviously know what Permane Brothers is, and probably most of PA. But if you're not from Pittsburgh or PA, Permane Brothers is so freaking fire. Oh my gosh, I love their fries. My favorite food is French fries. Okay, like French fries are the best food to ever exist, and their French fries are gas. Like they're actually I would love to have some of their French fries right now. I was this close. They have a massive plate where you can get the French fries piled up. We went out because it was my buddy's girlfriend's birthday. So we got some food, and then we went out to Southside and we did some fun stuff. It was a good night. So that's why we like went out for dinner. We're like, yo, gotta eat before hitting Southside, obviously. So oh my gosh, I love food. I love food. I literally have, yeah. Probably the best foods. French fries. Second are probably wings. Wings are just gas. Pizza's a classic. I don't know if it's like one of my favorite foods just because pizza is so like, it's not that it isn't good. It's just I love other stuff. Cheesecake is up there. Cheesecake is like my favorite dessert. Dairy Queen's amazing. Where the heck is it the aqua? Oh, yep, it's the aqua of the sign. So we're going to increase that because we want it to pop. Love Dairy Queen. I could eat Dairy Queen every day for the rest of my life and be happy. Dairy Queen's so good. What else is there? I have Mini Wheats. Mini Wheats is a pretty good cereal. The reason I say that is because my phone is sitting on a box of Mini Wheats as what I'm holding it on. But there's definitely other cereal that's better. Yeah, if you didn't notice, what I do when I'm editing my photos and I'm on the colors is I like to completely saturate and desaturate it to see what it is affecting. I like with light trails and like these reds and whatever, I like to decrease it because I know you could increase the light, but it just doesn't look that good. if you decrease the this lightness, it just looks like it's so much richer of a color. It just helps the image like so much. You don't want it that much, but if we bring it down to like there, and then come to the oranges, and it's probably the oranges and the yellows. Yep, it's orange and yellow. So we're gonna come back up here, shift it a bit more towards there, shift it a bit more towards there. We're gonna come back to the adjustment layer of this down here, shift it more towards that way, and shift it more towards that way just to balance that out. Background, I think that's looking good. I think I smudged my camera here, so that's why it looks like that. But here's the original edit. I need my saturation up a bit more in the reds, I think. Because I want to show you guys how you obviously edit this stuff. Oh, I probably have the lightness down. That's probably what it is. And I obviously had it cropped for Instagram as well. But that is essentially how I edit it. What you guys don't see with my photos is I'll do an initial edit. I'll be like, okay, this is cool, and I kind of get an idea of the general theme of the image. And by general theme, I mean, is it going to be contrasty? Is it going to be a warm, fun, like summer feeling picture? Or is it going to be a moody and dark and dreary picture? This one was, I edited it one day, and literally the next day I came back and I noticed what I didn't like about it. So I ran back into it, did some minor adjustments, and said, boom, that's it. So, I mean, I don't know. It's weird how you can have a vision in your head and it's achieved by... Why is it so... Is it because I have the darkness, the lightness down? Like, this is crazy how... I probably have saturation on this up to 100. So then what do I have? Do I have saturation over here? Oh, I have saturation at 40 on that. That's why. Yeah, that's why. So just bring it down there. Looks good. So that's how I edited that photo. Yo, this was last week when Saxon came over. It's a video coming out next week. This is not in there. It's a fall autumn hiking photo shoot that we did, but we went out shooting the night before, and I said, yo, let's get us some fire photos. There's this place like literally 2 minutes from my place, with this like background behind it. Too watching. And I edited it, like, holy crap, it looks so good. You know what? I'll show you guys how to edit a night photo, how I would edit my night photos. New variant. So what did I do with this? Did I have my... Okay, so I have 2 of them. Aspen curve. So what I like about styles is you can just immediately have a photo edited in like 5 minutes. So I have my curve on there because I like the contrast. So I throw that on, and it adjusts the tint and the white balance a bit, but I just have that because it's the default. And then it says that I have a portrait Visco light green. And what I like about the Visco one is it's done for the Visco girls. You see them with like the desaturated like greens and the higher saturated like oranges for the skin tones. So that's why I have this one, and it's a bit more balanced for portrait photos, because when you're shooting photos of girls, you want it to be like a soft lighting, kind of diffused. Guys having this like contrast right there is good because guys are like defined by their like more cut, like defined features. So we're gonna bring it like that. I don't even know what I did with this. Oh wow, I have it a lot pinker. So it's looking good like that. Bring the exposure down to about 0.8. The yellow needs brought a bit more towards there. Increase the saturation. What's the lightness doing? I like that pop actually. That's looking pretty good. See, in this one, Saxon's standing out a lot more. In this one, he looks more like he's part of the image. And I like that. I like both of them. I like this one with the pop out. I want to edit the reds a bit. So red, I'm going to bring to right there. Kind of shift it a bit more, decrease the lightness. I like that. That's how I edit a night portrait. It's quick, but like I showed you guys earlier in the stream, get that tone curve down, and you can apply that tone curve to like 80% of your images, and it'll immediately make it look better. And I go off of that because I like how the contrast is, the highlights, the darkness, and it's a nice basis for getting my style. A photographer's style is after they edit so much, they get like a look to it. I think for my next live stream, I'm going to get somebody on with me, try to get them to edit with me to see what they think, what they're feeling, try to get them to kind of increase like the talkativeness, the conversation. I feel like I should be talking about stuff other than photos. You guys are kind of watching this. This isn't a how-to. Oh, I have the highlight. I have the highlights with blue. Yeah, I'm going to Nashville this week. I said that earlier. But the goal when I'm down there is I want to do a travel day of me like going, getting on the plane, waking up, flying, getting down there, and then just doing a general like city look. Because I have to be at my work conference part at, I think 4 o'clock is when that starts. So at 4 o'clock, I need to, where is my mouse? At 4 o'clock, I need to, I'm not showing you guys I need to work on that more. That's when that starts, so I need to be there at a certain time. And I'll be there then. We'll do this one. We won't. Wow, these are like hard photos to do, actually. Okay, we'll do one more photo. I want to do a really good photo for you guys. I want to do one of my favorite images that I have ever shot. So hold on. Yeah, I'll determine that. I'll save that for later. File, open recent, open 10,000. Alright, I took this down in Tybee Island, Georgia. Actually, I think that I might, when I'm older, I might end up getting a beach house there. I loved Tybee Island, our trip to it. It's such a quaint little beach town, and it's where you would want to live. It's like the beach town you want to live in if you're an older, like, adult. It's that nice. It's that, I mean, like, some of these pictures I got, I mean, like, I love this picture. Some people might not. I think this is such a nice picture. This picture to, which is actually what we'll be editing, to this one, were all shot with my 85mm. I love this picture. One of my, oh, this right here, just wait, this one right here, I don't think, like, this is the epitome of, like, a summer picture for me. Like, some of you might not agree. This photo right here, how close am I? I think it is a 10-second delay. This photo, you guys don't understand how much I love it. Like, I finally got the edit. I could not touch this and make the edit any better. I actually think I'm gonna get this printed. What are the dimensions I can do? So I can get a 20 by 13 print of this. So what this tells you, 20 inches by 13.95 inches, that's how big of a print you can get before the quality starts to degrade, before you start to notice the megapixels. I think I'm actually going to get this printed this big eventually, and I might put it right above my couch, my love seat, because it is such a, it is the epitome of a southern summer. Here's why I love photography. And I'm gonna do a video on this later. I'm gonna do a video explicitly on what photography means to me. But if you guys have ever watched The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, he is, it is a so first off, Ben Stiller movies, I love Ben Stiller movies. He's probably one of my favorite actors, if not my favorite actor. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty movie is the perfect travel movie, finding yourself movie, and it just invokes these enjoyable, almost nostalgic experience. It is the, I have no words for it. It's my favorite movie ever, and that is like a travel. But these photos that I love are, to me, photography is the reason I brought up The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. I got off track. If you watched it, you know at the end he talks about the quintessence of life. The quintessence is essentially the purest form of something. So while epitome is like the epitome of evil, like he's the highest form of evil. Quintessence is similar to epitome, but quintessence is the capturing, and there is no better description. And there's like, this picture for me, it's the quintessence of summer. I mean, you have this dreamy quality. I mean, like, look, this is the original. This is where I edited it to. I mean, like wow. It's the most perfect summer picture of all like, for me, I mean, you have the greens and the yellows of the leaves right here just looking perfectly lit up. You're sitting in the shade of your favorite tree. You're chilling, and it's just like a perfect temperature, and you've never been happier. This tree and like the shade right here and the leaves. I mean, the tint, I have the tint up at 4.4. If I would put it at 7, that actually doesn't look too bad, but I still like it at 4.4. But it's, alright, I'm done raving about it, but this is just a perfect photo. I think this is now my favorite photo that I've ever taken, in all honesty. But this one is the one I want to edit with you guys. Right here, right? I took this down in Tybee, and I wasn't sure what exactly I was going to do with it. I originally had it very flattened out because when I started, I'm like, oh, I have to have shadows. You have to be able to see what was in there. The shadows are there for a reason. Really nice image. It's exposed well. This is obviously the center of the image. So I am going to show you guys how to edit it. First thing we're going to do, so what presets do I have? Saturated Provia. Oh, wow. Huh. So the first thing I have is a vignette applied to it. So I'm going to do that. We're going to go with that. Alright. I don't like that. We're just going to edit it from scratch, okay? We're editing this thing from scratch. I shoot all of my pictures initially on Classic Chrome. But I might go Provia Standard with this one. Nah, I'm going to go Classic Chrome. With Classic Chrome, it typically tints it a bit more to the left, towards the pinks. We're gonna bring it a bit more towards here. It's a little too warm, so we're gonna cool it off. My exposure was crap on this, so we're gonna bring this down or back up. Bring the highlight and the shadow here, and it is not nearly saturated enough, if you ask me. We're gonna cool it off a bit more. So that's looking good already. Increase the pinkness a bit. the pinkness. What am I saying? Don't listen to whatever I say, because I'm obviously just like spewing some garbage. So I'm gonna be referencing this because I want to show you guys how to edit like this photo. I mean, this right here is already a good photo if you ask me. If you don't like the nice bright, I have like 2 or 3 styles so far that I'm debating on what I like better. I can obviously do all of them, but I either like the moody, like desaturated stuff, like, and very contrasty, like this one right here, or this one's kind of desaturated. And then I have the higher saturated, the very like vivacious. That's what I would describe, like currently my favorite style is vivacious. Right here, nice, bright, saturated, clean image of bamboo. This one is more of like the desaturated natural look that I had talked about. We have, which do I like better with this one? I like that one better. I'm gonna delete that. This one is more of the vivacious. I think I like my vivacious style more. All of the images that I love the most that I captured have this nice bright image to it. But gonna come back here. This one, I think it's important to do the eyedropper tool. Oh, that's the white balance. Yeah, I'm pretty stupid with that. So it's green. I think I have multiple layers on this one. We're gonna come up here and have the show mask. So there's that one. And then I have the tail light right there. So I think we might as well do a mask. Let me draw this mask a bit better. There. Because there's a little bit of green that was missing out of there. So that's better. So yeah, those are the masks. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. We're going to do a bit of a sloppy edit. But that's okay. So we're going to be editing for the leaves first, right? I want the leaves saturated a bit more, increase the lightness. I think it still needs the exposure brought up. And the highlights brought down, whites, shadow, black. Bring the exposure back down a bit more. White to balance it. Yeah. Alright. Actually, I like how we're editing this so far. It's looking better. But we're going to come back here. We're going to drop a color swab. Oh, wait, no, we're going to do the mask first. I told you guys we'd do the masks. Come here. So we're just going to worry about the green. You don't have to, if you're, now you can go over an entire image if you would like and be very careful about what you're selecting. Or if you know that you're only going to be editing certain parts, why would you waste your time on the rest of the image? That's what I'm thinking about. I really like the idea of the saturated type look. Like Evan Ranft, I've talked about him on this channel before, and I'll talk about him more later. He is my favorite photographer. North Borders is cool. Seventh Era is cool. Evan Ranft is the largest reason that I got inspired to hop into photography during COVID lockdown last year. His videos were just amazing. Like his style was just so clean, it was contrasty, but the colors popped. It looked summery. Like his style is just on another level, and I do not know how he has an increase in his saturation and his colors enough that you notice it, but it doesn't look unnatural. And that is just astounding to me how he manages to do that. Like I love this image right here. And I like the increase in the saturation, but it doesn't look as natural as I would like. Maybe if I increase the white balance a bit. But like his style is just on, like this was inspired by Evan Ranft, and I love that edit. The yellows, so we're gonna go back there, background, we're gonna increase the lightness of the greens. Shift it a bit more this way. increase saturation. Do the reference image. So we're going to come back to the adjustment layer and put 0 into the saturation. I want that edited. And then I want the pinks. It's probably a red, if I'm correct. The system references it as red. Oh, that's because I'm doing the wrong thing. Background, red. Yeah, it's largely. So that's too saturated. But come back down to about 16. That's looking pretty fire. Before. After. So obviously there's a bit of a difference. But once you kind of know what you want, I think I might increase the contrast in this a bit. And the highlights need brought down a bit, and the whites too. See, now this is the difference in the edits. Watch on the bar right there. It's crazy. It still looks pretty similar, but the edits are still like crazy different. So maybe warm this up just a tiny bit, and that'll be pretty similar. Yeah, whites are decreased a bit too much because it looks too flat. There, looks pretty similar. And that's how you edit. That's how I do my workflow. I appreciate everybody who tuned in. I'm gonna try to do this maybe once a month. I think that'd be a pretty good idea. It won't be the main upload. I'll do it on like a weeknight or something like that, and I'll say, hey, live stream, just doing something for half an hour, doing something for an hour, tune in. I like doing this. It's pretty cool. It's pretty enjoyable to me. I think it's pretty awesome to do because you guys get to see what I'm doing in real time. I'm hoping that next time I can have somebody on, like I said, we'll talk about different stuff, see what's going on, see what isn't. Yeah, I think that is what I'm going to do. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate... How do I stop this? One beer. Yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. It was a good time. I like sitting down and just messing with my pictures, like here and there, and saying like, yeah, this is cool, this is cool. I literally edit way too much. But that's okay, because that's how I get better. That's how you get better at what you like. You know what? I'm gonna clone this variant. I'm gonna see if I can do anything different while we're talking and closing out the stream. That's how you get better at stuff, is by trying and just like repeating, and just doing stuff over again. It's repetition. That's how you learn. A little too pink, yeah. You just learn by doing, you do it by practicing. That's how you get good at photography and soccer, and that's how you learn math, is you just do problems over and over again. I think I might bring shadow down a bit. Maybe the blacks. What's the before and after look like? Yeah, the before and after on this is crazy. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I said, that's going to be it for the stream. Shout out to y'all. Y'all are the truth. Y'all are what? I don't even know how to end this crap. I'll send it like regular. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, because this is the end of the video. Like and subscribe. Tell me what you guys liked. Tell me what type of photography you want to see in Nashville. Because I'm going to try to make this live. And other than that, why does it look different on this screen? That's okay. Until then, I will catch you on